Okay, now we're going to look at 2.11 part 2, and that is how we actually change or conjugate the verbs. A few reminders here. One of the things that you need to make sure you understand is the terms infinitive and conjugate. So an infinitive is the full form of the verb, and it means to something. Remember that infinitives will end in AR, ER, or IR. And remember, right now we are only looking at AR ones, okay? So we're just looking at verbs that end in AR. And we're looking at regular verbs, and we're looking at verbs in, remember, the present tense. When we change the verb so that it shows who or what the subject is, we conjugate them. So you're going to conjugate an infinitive. So that's what we're going to do. So let me show you a quick example here. So for example, the infinitive hablar means to talk. We can't go around saying yo hablar because that would mean I to talk. Okay, so we need to conjugate it so that it shows that I am the one doing the talking. Yo hablo. Or if you do the talking, it would be tú hablas, etc. So how do we do that? Here is what we are going to do. We have a nice little chart here, and half of this chart you should already know. And so we want to make sure that you're just learning, all you should have to learn is 6 things, okay? So remember, yo means I, tú means you, él, he, ella, she, usted, etc. Okay, so you need to go back and look at those. If you do not know your subject pronouns, you need to go back and look at those, okay? The steps in order to conjugate a verb are, first, you're going to take off the AR, and then you're going to add the ending that matches the subject of the sentence. So again, we've got hablar, step 1. This is the infinitive. You're going to take off the AR, so you just have HABL. And then you're going to add the ending. So if you're talking about yo, you look up at your chart here, you look at yo, and you say, oh, I'm going to add O as the ending. So yo hablo means I talk. Okay, this works with any regular AR verbs in the present tense. So if we were going to change this, and we are now going to take estudiar, okay, to study, okay, we would first take off the AR and we get estudia, E-S-T-I-U-D-I, and then we would, let's say let's don't use the yo form, let's use the ella form, okay? So for ella then, now we are looking at, we've got estudi, and we're going to add the ending. So we look at our chart up here, and eventually you're not going to need this chart, you're just going to remember it, but we're going to find ella, and so we're going to add an A at the end to say she studies. Ella estudia. That is verb conjugation in its best. What you need to memorize, you need to memorize this chart, all of those endings, you need to memorize those subject pronouns, okay? Let's say ella was a person's name. It would still be estudia because instead of saying ella, I could say her name, Maria, for example. So Maria estudia. And you would go through, if you wanted to say we study, you would say nosotros. Okay, then we're going to start here, step 2 here, estudi, and we would add the amos. Nosotros estudiamos. So that is how you conjugate verbs. The way you get better at it is by keep practicing. Check out the website for more resources. There's also plenty of other videos and other interactive things on our Spanish website, www.scvsspanish.weebly.com. You can access it from the announcement page.